Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The truth about political promises, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. As we reported last night, the rise of Donald Trump to the top echelons of the Republican Party is one of the most stunning political stories in the past century. Also, the campaign of Bernie Sanders is giving Hillary Clinton all she can handle, and who would have predicted that? The popularity of both men based on promises, things they say they will do if elected president. Talking Points believes that many, perhaps most, followers of Trump and Sanders don't really care whether the men can deliver. It's their tone, point of view, philosophy that is mesmerizing millions of voters. Because the truth is, Sanders and Trump will not be able to do some of the things they are promising. We believe they want to do them, but they will not be able to overcome our political structure. Simple as that. Let's take Donald Trump first. He says he will build a wall between the USA and Mexico, and that is certainly possible. It will not be a continuous wall because there are national barriers that will stop that. However, the construction of an effective barrier, very possible, and would happen if Trump is elected president.
We are going to have a strong border. We are going to build the wall. It will be a real wall. A real wall. Who is going to pay for the wall? Who?
One problem, Mexico will not pay for the wall, no matter what a President Trump might threaten. His proposed action to stop Mexicans illegally here in the USA from sending money back to their family and friends is impossible. No one can stop the mail. Mr. Trump also says he will deport perhaps as many as 12 million illegal aliens here within 2 years. Again, the courts would likely block a mass deportation, and even if they didn't, each individual alien under law will have to have a court hearing before any action would be taken. And right now, the average wait time for an immigration hearing, about 2 years. So realistically, for a mass deportation to take place, hundreds of billions of dollars would have to be allotted, and even then, the actual movement of that many people would be unprecedented. And what about Mr. Trump's wish to temporarily ban Muslims who live in areas dominated by terrorism from coming here to the USA? Again, the courts would likely step in and block the action based on the Equal Protection Clause, whereby you cannot single out a specific group, in this case Muslims, for any legislative action. Finally, Donald Trump wants to force China from devaluing its currency. He says if they do not stop doing that, there'll be a trade war. Here, Mr. Trump is on solid ground. The trade deficit with China was $366 billion last year. Unbelievable. That means they get all those billions free and clear above what we're buying from them. Donald Trump certainly can renegotiate that appalling situation. Anybody could. And it's a job killer for Americans, as he says. On the Bernie Sanders front, it's a similar situation. He says he will break up the big banks.
They are too powerful economically, they're too powerful politically. And that is what I believe and many economists believe. Time to break them up.
Of course, the courts, again, would stop that. The only way the federal government can destroy a banking concern is if it poses, quote, a grave threat to the financial stability of the United States, unquote. No president can break up any private enterprise unless there's a drastic reason to do so, and then the federal apparatus would have to approve. Not a single individual like a president. Senator Sanders is also proposing much higher taxes for just about everybody in the country. But he would never get that through Congress if Republicans hold even 40 senators in that chamber. The GOP would block any drastic tax increase. Sanders says he will defeat ISIS by somehow convincing the Muslim nations of Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Jordan, and the Emirates to join together and launch ground attacks against ISIS. Now, you can file that under amazing fantasy, or to be more kind, wishful thinking. Only if the West leads would anti-ISIS Muslim nations initiate ground action. Finally, Senator Sanders wants to add $14 trillion with a T dollars in government spending over a 10-year period to provide health care run by the government for every American. The national debt now approaching $20 trillion. So again, this is a dangerous fantasy. Sanders says he would raise taxes on business and workers to pay for the $14 trillion. But nearly every single analysis of the subject says the new taxes would not even come close to covering that huge health expense. An out-of-control national debt could collapse the entire U.S. economy. And punitive taxation, the kind Sanders wants, would likely strangle economic growth. Senator Sanders is talking theory when reality dictates that the federal government must stop running up massive debt. We're not Sweden here with 9 million people. All government programs are rife with wasteful spending and inefficient performance. Does Sanders have a magic wand to fix that? I mean, we can't even provide an efficient health care system for our vets. And the senator believes the feds can serve 323 million people, not counting illegal aliens? Come on! Summing up, Trump could probably do 2 out of the 5 things he is promising. Sanders, 0 for 5. But again, it doesn't really matter to many American voters. They like what they're hearing from Trump and Sanders, and that is enough. And that's the memo.